We are live. This is Talking Touchdowns. Tyler will join us shortly. My man, JC Zargo, is with me. JC, the last regular season slate for us to break down, and it will be quite exciting. I see what guy, Sports Keg, in the chat. What's up to the keg? Continue crushing, and let's talk some National Football League. JC, what are your thoughts here going into Week 18?
Man, I love this slate. We got so many meaningful games, some great spreads. As sad as I am for the regular season be over, I'm very sad about it. I might shed a tear at some point in this show. Just perfect week to end things on for sure.
Tyler, thoughts on the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, last week of regular season, incentive week, a bunch of meaningless games, so don't go too crazy.
And that's what I'm planning on doing. The Pittsburgh Steelers are -3 in Baltimore, taking on the Ravens. Totals 34.5. Tyler, I'd seen this line as high as 4.5, and since we talked about these games with Meg yesterday, this line has come crashing down. The Ravens continue to make money, take money for those who missed it yesterday. What's your breakdown of this game, and which way are you leading, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm staying away from this game. Tom's got his winning season, so he has nothing left to play for. They need help to get into the playoffs. So, yeah, they could win, but these division games have been weird. I'm not betting Tyler Huntley, though, so I'm staying away from this game.
JC, I love the Ravens here, but not only have I missed the line movement, I'm a little worried about how much each starter is going to play. Did you have a way you want to approach this Ravens-Steelers game that will start us off on Saturday?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I'm giving it a lot of thought, and it's just there's no winning with it, because sometimes when you overthink it, you got to decide like which side I'm going to be happy with if I lose. And either way, no matter which side you're on, if you lose, you're going to feel like an idiot. It's in Baltimore. Ravens are a dog. Dogs do great in the matchups against these teams. Pittsburgh's, they're fighting for a spot in the playoffs. So only bet I got here is I love the under. Unders hit in the last 6 between these two. I believe we're going to have some gross weather in Baltimore. We got backups playing, so no idea who's going to win it, but I do know it'll be under. The total will be under 35 points.
And that is the low total because it's down to 34.5 offshore. Sounds like you have a 35 on the legal book.
I just saw, I moved down from this morning. I bet it at 35 this morning, and I'm seeing 34.5 now.
At 4.5, I really liked the Ravens. I think the market's corrected correctly. Probably said that wrong. But at +3, not a lot of value in Baltimore anymore. At the same time, I don't believe in Pittsburgh. I don't necessarily believe that Rudolph is as good as he's shown the last 2 weeks, and there could be some issues in Pittsburgh. So I lean the Ravens. I missed the best of the number. If I were to bet it now, I'd bet it live.
Yeah, it's a good point. I was going to say 4 of their last 5 have been decided by 3 points or less. So,
yeah, which is why I was just going to default to it. But I'm sure 4 of their last 5 had both teams playing for something where, one team's trying to survive. Boy, my phone's going crazy right now. The Houston Texans are -1 in Indianapolis taking on the Colts. The total here, a little different here, 47.5. That's the difference when you are indoors. The Texans opened as 1.5-point dogs, and they've taken a steady stream of money, JC. Tyler, I know you like the Texans. Start us off here and let everyone know why you think C.J. Stroud is going to end up winning and potentially catapulting his team into the playoffs as a rookie.
I mean, I can sit here and just weave through everything on the teams, but in the end, if this game's going to come, I'm going to take C.J. Stroud over Gardner Minshew every time. Their defense is getting a little bit healthier. The guys that can't come back that aren't on IR. The Colts are the luckiest team in the luck rankings on PFF. That never bodes well for a team because after a few weeks, turnovers start to come back. Minshew has been clean with the ball for weeks. That's not a quarterback that's known to be clean with the ball. So I think the Houston Texans go out there. They make a statement. DeMeco Ryans punches the playoff ticket. C.J. Stroud puts together a great game. Noah Brown's out, but he's going to make the receivers work with Nico Collins, Schultz, Mechie, Woods. I think they're the better team. I think they win the game pretty easily. I think the Colts' fun runs over right here.
All right. We are on opposite sides, Tyler, as I like the Indianapolis Colts to get things done at home. I've undervalued this team all year, and I'm not. I also think that CJ Stroud has not been as effective on the road. We'll see how much that crowd noise can stifle his ability to make changes at the line. Another thing will be to see how well he does without Tank Dell in the lineup. Great find there, and I feel that he complemented Nico Collins and CJ Stroud's skill set perfectly. Of course, Dalton Schultz, there will be lots of talk around him needing those incentives, but I think they're going to nuke the price on that. I don't know how much value there will be. JC, I like the Colts. Tyler likes the Texans. Break the tie.
Oh man, I love the Texans with CJ Stroud playing here. I don't really know how you can bet the Colts. Yes, they've been playing well. I mean, they're a frisky team. I anticipated being a great game. But like Alex said, I mean, Minshew's been playing well, but he doesn't really have that consistency to expect him to continue to play like that. And the Texans have just been fantastic when they're playing with Stroud. I know, Tennessee's not quite the opponent Indianapolis is, but last week he did fine without Tank Dell. So
at home,
just kind of expecting that continued domination. Great spot too, just because, kind of gives. It's going to have a playoff feel. That's going to be great for Stroud. Going to be a great experience. Preparing him for next week, but also for next year. So I expect him to do well under the pressure is really all I'm trying to say. And love Houston.
I think you guys are overlooking the other 52 positions where I do believe the Colts have an edge. But we will see. We'll see who has bragging rights as we're back to being able to review the slate on Mondays and not wait till Tuesdays. As the holidays are over, it's time to get back to work. These two gentlemen like the Texans. I favor the Colts. Keg's going to be rooting for my side to get home as he bet the Colts to win at 3-1 a couple weeks ago. The Dallas Cowboys are minus. Oh, but he also would need the Jaguars to lose to win that bet, huh?
No, the Colts win. They win the division, I believe.
No, if the Jaguars win, they win the division.
Incorrect.
Are you sure?
Colts win. I'm positive. I'm looking at the playoff machine right now. Winner, whoever wins that game.
If the Jaguars lose.
I'm so sorry. You are right. Yeah, they do have to lose. Okay. I apologize.
Yeah, so he'll need a couple things, and we'll get to that Jaguars-Titans game a little bit later, but I don't think that the Jaguars are a slam dunk like some other people do. The Dallas Cowboys are minus 13. They're in Washington. They're taking on the Commanders. I've heard smart thoughts on both sides here, Tyler. I lean towards taking the points with the Commanders. This will be the last game of the season. They're going to leave it all out there. And we've seen what these underdog teams can do. Just because Dallas needs to win doesn't mean the Commanders are going to just oblige and give it to them. I think 13 points is too much for a Dallas team that, let's be fair, they run up their net rating at home. They have not been monsters on the road. I think we see a nice little effort, a nice little goodbye to Ron Rivera and this coaching staff as they move on to the sunset. I like the Commanders plus 13. What are your thoughts, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm passing on this game. I'm not touching this game.
JC, what do you think of the Cowboys and the Commanders?
Yeah, no, there's no good way to bet this because I don't mind the philosophy. I mean, Dallas needs to win, right, to maintain the 2 seed. And so I don't mind the thought process of they get a big lead first half, pull their starters. However, what happened last time these two teams played? Dallas won 45-10. So even if,
in Dallas,
sure,
where they beat everybody, and on the road, they're, I don't know.
Fair enough. But still, I'm not willing to bet on a 14, 21-point lead being built in the first half and Washington necessarily being able to overcome that. So see both thoughts, but yeah, no interest in touching this one.
All right. I haven't bet the Colts either, but if I were to bet, I would take the Commanders plus 13 in this one. The next game, JC, I haven't spent a lot of time on. It's the LA Rams taking on the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers have absolutely nothing to play for. And the Rams, of course, well, Can the Rams? You have the playoff machine up. Can the Rams even improve their position with the win? You're muted. JC, unmute. JC, unmute.
I believe there's a way they can fall to the 7 seed.
They'd have to lose, and Green Bay would have to win.
Yes,
okay. and that's actually plausible.
They lose and Seattle wins. No, they're still the 6th. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I didn't have any interest in this game. Tyler just completely passed on that Cowboys game. I'm down to pass on this one. JC, what do you think of the Rams and the 49ers?
I don't know if this is getting a little too cute with it, but I kind of wonder if the under could be a play here, right? San Francisco is not going to be doing anything. Shanahan has straight up said, I don't want to give them anything since we could be playing them in a couple of weeks again. Like we said, Rams don't have much to play for. So without really any gusto on either side, kind of got to wonder if we're going to see a lack of points here.
Stafford's not playing, is he?
He is not. We're getting, I believe, is Wentz confirmed? I thought Wentz was playing.
Yeah, Carson Wentz sighting.
But yeah, I don't know if that's kind of overthinking it. Like I said, getting too cute. Yeah, he's starting. But that would intrigue me more than trying to pick a side between Wentz and I don't know who's going for San Francisco.
It'd be Darnold if Purdy said.
Yeah, that's right.
Tyler, you're good at betting preseason. This game has preseason written all over it. Do you have an angle?
Nah, don't bet this game.
Okay. The Buffalo Bill. We'll do that one last. The Atlanta Falcons are +3. They're in New Orleans. They're taking on the Saints. The total's 41.5. If Tampa were to lose, this game is for the division title. I don't think Tampa's going to lose, but we got to throw that out there. Now, the Falcons are a team that I've not been able to get right all year. I would fade them if they were outside, but they're indoors, and they have done well against the Saints as of late, going 4-1 against the spread against New Orleans. Maybe a low-scoring game where the Saints win, but the Falcons cover. Wouldn't surprise me there. Total is 41.5. JC, I'll start with you. Your thoughts when the Saints hope the Falcons for a potential NFC South play division title, although I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I don't know. It is kind of a weird game in that essence that either of these teams could still win the South. We've talked so much crap on this division, and it continues to be a conundrum. I have no clue what's going to happen here. I feel like this should be a pretty easy win for the Saints, but Saints love
nothing's easy for the Saints.
Exactly. They love blowing easy wins. So despite, blowing the doors off the Bucs last week, I have no interest. I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know where to put my money on this.
Tyler, do you think we're missing something by not betting on the Saints and the Falcons?
No, I mean, I'd lean the Saints, but I'd rather stay away from this game.
Guys, this is week 18. A lot of pros take this week off. So if you see us passing on a lot of games, our apologies. But this is a tough week. At least in this game, though, Tyler, unlike that Rams 49ers, I think we can assume that we're going to get the best of both teams. I think we can assume that projections would help. I don't think they're worth anything for the Rams versus 49ers. On this game, however, I did have it projected at, where is it? A 2-point Saints win. So my projections say to take the Falcons at the same time, not a huge edge. The Philadelphia Eagles are now -5.5 in New York, taking on the Giants. The total's 42. JC, this game has the interesting conundrum is that it becomes essentially meaningless if Dallas does do what you expect and get out to that early lead and blow the doors off the Washington Commanders, in which case they could pull everyone, which is why the New York Giants took money earlier in the week. Maybe people expect the Commanders to keep it close. Maybe people think the Giants simply aren't that good, regardless of Philly's motivation. But the Eagles have taken a little money since we talked about this game yesterday. JC, I don't want to get involved with this one because, boy, wouldn't it suck to be holding that Eagles -5 and then the Cowboys jump out 21-0 and they pull everybody?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think there is big potential for the Eagles here, especially, things just have to be, well, I guess I can't be overwhelmed at the Washington game. No, they're playing at the same time.
But I'm just saying they can look up and it's 21-0.
100%. But how well? And so I'm worried about basically the decision that Sirianni's going to have to make. But the Eagles, they need a big win. Like, they need the kind of motivation, that boost going into the playoffs with the sloppy play they've had coming off this loss against Arizona. So, I mean, if we get starters, I think it's going to be real ugly. I think Philly's going to win by a couple touchdowns. They really need that going into the playoffs. But again, I don't know what Sirianni's going to do, if he's going to play it safe, pull everyone if Dallas comes up to a huge lead. So I don't know.
I think he will. I think he pulls everybody. I don't think they care about momentum. In fact, I've read articles that there's no such thing as momentum. I read an article where they tracked everybody's December's records and they tried to use that as predictive for playoff success, and it's not true at all. So I believe Sirianni, if he looks up, it's 21-0 in the second quarter. Jalen Hurts is playing hurt. We said it all year. I don't think Jalen Hurts forgot how to play football. I think Jalen Hurts became a worse passer. I think he's got a banged up knee and an injured shoulder. That's tough to play through. I believe they'll pull everyone, which is why I don't want to get involved in this game. There's a lot of factors. It almost feels like you're hitting a parlay because you need that Dallas -13 to hit.
Yeah. No, 100%.
If you take the +5.5.
Yeah. I mean,
you want the +13 to hit if you take the -5.5.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm more just saying that if the starters are in, I think they're going to be giving it their all, and they're going to go full throttle. But again, if they get pulled, nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, we'll see. Even with the starters, the Eagles' defense has been in the bottom 10 over the last 5 weeks. Since they were 10-1, we've really seen them fall apart. Whether it's injuries or poor play, I consider it to be more of the first. This is why you get a Super Bowl hangover. A lot of players coming in this game beat up for the Philadelphia Eagles. Tyler, any thoughts on this one?
No, I mean, I'm not messing with this game because starters could get pulled. Not going to try and get cute and bet it. I'm staying away from it.
Yeah, I'll bet you Keg's going to be all over it live, though.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say the Eagles get a nice lead. Giants are staying at +8, +9. You're watching the Cowboys game, you see them get a lead. You start to take it, right? I mean, there's different ways to approach this live as you're watching the other games, and I think that's the best way to do it. So make sure you're subscribed here on Nuke the House. If you want to make money Sunday, especially on these games, live betting is the way to go. There's a lot of variance in these pre-flop lines, and when you have a guy like the Sports Keg who sees the field so clearly and is able to make those adjustments so quickly, that's how you're going to be profitable this Sunday. I think that these pre-flop lines are – I don't want to say the sharpest of the season, but I'd say there's the most variance because we don't know what teams we're getting when we're attempting to project them.
I don't know if I'd call them sharp. I think because they could go drastically in any direction.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would say like last week's lines were sharper as far as being closer to the actual results. But with the potential variance, I just think it's harder to find an edge.
I don't think you're going to be sweating almost any of these bets.
You don't think so?
No, I think it's going to be drastic one way or another. Like, I don't think like Washington's such a big number. Like, that's possible if we were to go that way. But again, I either think Philly's going to blow out the Giants or they're going to pull everyone. And then the Giants playing for pride will just pull out a victory.
All right. Cleveland Browns are +7 in Cincinnati taking on the Bengals, 37.5. Another one, I have no idea what to do. So my numbers are worthless because Jeff Driscoll's barely played this year. I don't know how much of the defense is going to be playing. And I'm assuming the Bengals want to win. 7 points seems way too much for a total of 37.5, though. If I had to play it, I would take the dog here. But I don't have to play it, and I'm not going to. JC, am I missing something?
No, it's a meaningless game. Cleveland locked in the 5th seed. Cincinnati's been eliminated. So, yeah, I would definitely lean. Like, if I was putting together a parlay, I might take Cincinnati to win outright. But 7.5, that's a lot.
Tyler, anything on this game before we move on?
Nah, another pass spot. No reason about this game. It's week 18. There's a lot of these games could have been crossed off before we even started the show, to be honest with you.
So far, that was the first meaningless game we talked about.
I mean,
the Green Bay Packers are -3. We got a game here, fellas. Mm-hmm. We got a game. The Packers need to win to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago Bears are fully motivated. Justin Fields is trying to make a statement. I believe Eberflus is coming back, but it hasn't been official. A big win here by the Bears means a lot for both these men and for the franchise. Even if they're planning on moving on from Fields, you don't think a win over the Packers and a nice 300-yard passing performance is going to raise his stock a little bit, make it some better teams interested in him? I think we got two fully motivated teams that are going to be going all out in this game. I think this is probably one of the best games that we've talked about so far as understanding, besides the Texans Colts, understanding what each team's motivation is coming in this game. And Falcons Saints, we just hate those teams. Tyler, I like the Bears catching points here, but boy, it's tough to go against the streak. And a little bit later, we're going to talk about the streak that I'm going to ride. Do I want to go against this Green Bay Packers streak? Is it time for the Chicago Bears to end the dominance that the Green Bay Packers have displayed over them over the last 4 to 5 seasons?
I think it's a good spot to try and end it. They have nothing else to play for. Fields is auditioning for his last spot to keep the quarterback of the team. They can't get in the playoffs, so I think it's the spot maybe you can bet the Bears, but I don't know. Game worries me because everyone's on the Bears.
Yeah, it seems like the Bears are the popular choice. I think that's on the strength of their defensive play. They've been top 10 since adding Montez Sweat, while the Packers, their offense has been playing better. Their defense has regressed. JC, how do you see this one?
I love the Bears. They've been playing great football, especially, in these recent weeks. Green Bay has looked incredibly sloppy. I mean, they nearly blew that game to Carolina. Had that nice win against Minnesota. But a lot of reasons they won that game as they did, based on level of motivation the Bears should have. I think it's going to be a big win for them.
Yeah, +3 in division game, tough to Absolutely. Pass up. To me, it's Bears or pass. But as Tyler said, we're using discretion this week. Another game where the Seattle Seahawks need to win, and I believe the Arizona Cardinals will be going all out. They're not trying to tank for a quarterback. They've committed to Kyler Murray, and I think both Jonathan Gannon and Kyler would like to put up a nice winning performance to go into the offseason to kind of justify the faith the ownership and front office has put into that Gannon-Murray tandem. However, the Seahawks are laying 3 on the road. The Seahawks have a competent defense. The Cardinals do not. So the real question is, against the better defense, are the Cardinals going to be able to score? Because I do believe that even though Seattle's defense is pretty good, the Cardinals will have, Kyler's like Fields and Lamar. You can't prepare for them like you can other quarterbacks. But will the Seahawks have a field day against one of the weakest defenses in the league of the Arizona Cardinals? JC, the Seahawks are laying 3 points. Your thoughts?
I love the over here. I mean, that's number one, just based on what we've seen out of Arizona.
Even though it's 48?
Yeah. I mean, Arizona's been so frisky. They got a great offense. We know they'll carry their weight. They're going to need to find their offense. I think they should be good for 20. I kind of lean the Cardinals, especially catching it at +3. You got to go back 11 games for the last time Seattle won by more than 4 points, and it was against the Cardinals, who were, I believe, still without. They played Josh Dobbs. So I just think Arizona's they're trending in a nice direction. They looked real nice to close out the season. In Seattle, their play continues to get worse. So I'll absolutely take the Cardinals with the 3 points.
Tyler, what are your thoughts here when the Seahawks travel to Arizona to take on the Cardinals? Seahawks laying 3 total, 48.
I'd probably lean Seahawks. I think the Cardinals played their Super Bowl last week. Gannon wanted to get the win against his old team. He got the win. I just don't see what they have to play for here outside of playing spoiler. Could they play spoiler? Very well they could, but I think I'll just have to side with Seattle. I think Metcalf and those guys can get open against this defense. So probably side with Seattle.
And there's always a couple games in week 18 that just go totally crazy in just a complete opposite direction you think they're going to go. And for me, this just kind of feels like that spot.
We are talking touchdowns. Give us that thumbs up. The channel is Nuke the House. The New York Jets are +2 in New England, taking on the Patriots. The total's 30.5. Spoiler alert, this will be my best bet. The Patriots have beaten the Jets 15 times in a row. I will continue to bet them until they fail to beat the Jets. Let's see how long this streak will last. JC, are you willing to join me in potentially Belichick's last game as the helm of the Patriots organization?
I don't know, man. I'm trying not to overthink it. Because, I mean, when we talked about this on Tuesday, you said you already bet it, which I'm very sorry, man. This is the second week in a row you've been on the wrong side of line movement.
I'm at the same.
Oh, I'm seeing 1.5. I thought you bet it at 2.5.
Oh, I got -2. I still see -2 at Bookmaker.
Sure. You're all right then. I don't know, man. I'm kind of buying into the turmoil that apparently is going on within the New England organization. Jets kind of, I don't know. They're so bad, though. I want to say, like, they really can't have that much.
I was going to say, they're just as tumultuous.
Yeah, that's true.
No, that's the right word, but you understand my point.
Absolutely.
Turmoilless.
They don't have anything going for them, and there's no reason to have pride in beating the Patriots. It's not even like it's just going to be a crappy game. I mean, the total's freaking 30.5. That's ridiculous. I do like
once again hating on fundamental defensive abilities. So
I do like the under because it's all supposed to be raining in Foxborough. I'll probably get there. I'll probably bet New England. You certainly can't bet the Jets here. So sure, give me the under and give me the Patriots to win.
Tyler, I bet the Patriots. What do you think? You're muted.
So I'm not touching this game spread. I get your angle that they beat them so many times in a row, but they have nothing to play for. You can make the argument that, Belichick's out the door. Are we 100% sure about that? Does somebody have a paper that says he is out of the door at the end of the season? Because I don't. Anybody?
Even if he's not letting the Jets beat him. He hates the Jets.
Also, I would assume he doesn't want to help the Patriots draft stock. I mean, not that you really think
but if he's going to be the coach next year and he's already maybe penciled in the guy he wants, winning this game could back him up to the 6th spot.
That's true.
So if he's got his guy in mind, I would want. These games where there's no meaning to them outside of he's beat him 18 times in a row. Like, yeah, he should make it 19. But I just see outside factors where it's like, if we're sitting here in 3 months and it's like, hey, remember that one time the Jets beat the Patriots on that fluky end of the game where like it almost seemed like the Patriots gave them the game? And now the Patriots are drafting 2 and they've traded very little to get up to 1 to get Caleb Williams. I think you could see that happen. So I would just tread lightly with this game.
I'm Team USA. I'm a Patriot this week. The Jacksonville Jaguars are -4 in Tennessee taking on the Titans. Tyler, looks like we're going to have CJ Beathard once again. I don't even know who's going for Tennessee. Is it going to be Malik Willis now? Jacksonville needs to win. Tennessee is going to try their asses off. I can guarantee that. The simple fact is, are they good enough to cover this spread of +4, especially if Malik Willis, who hasn't shown a lot, is at the quarterback position? We know DeAndre Hopkins will be trying to get involved as he's got a bunch of incentives for him to make this offseason. The Titans +4 at home. Tyler, I've gone both ways on this game. I've gone both ways, but I think I would go Titans +4. What do you think?
Yeah, if I had to bet this one, I'd probably go Titans, but with the quarterback situation in this game, I don't think I'm touching this one.
That's fair. It's Tannehill?
Mm-hmm. Maybe that pushes me
I like Titans +4.
Yeah, man, that pushes me a little bit more towards the Titans, but still. I'm just flashing back to all them times we tried to bet Tennessee in the first 6 weeks, and they couldn't even score with Tannehill under center. So it's my only worry.
That's fair. JC, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I love Tennessee here. Kind of similar to the Seahawks-Cardinals game. Tennessee has looked a little bit better towards the end of the season here, and Jacksonville's just been so bad. It just absolutely seems like they are going to spoil themselves out of a playoff spot, out of a division. And Tennessee and Vrabel will absolutely do their part to make that happen. And I'm catching 3.5. Why not? Even a safer bet.
Yeah, I got +4 here offshore.
Even better.
The Denver Broncos travel to Las Vegas, so the Raiders have a chance to make once more hit the field and make an impassioned plea to keep the coach from Compton in that leadership position. I was really hoping so. And if you would have shown me 2 days ago, I would have been pretty confident that Pierce came back. But I watched Graham, the defensive coordinator, his last press conference. It felt like a lot of goodbyes. It felt like I'm wrapping up here, which really made me sad. But I do believe that both teams will be motivated in this game. I think Sean Payton has a lot to prove here with everything that's gone on this season. I think he wants to finish on a good note, especially after – I don't even know how controversial it was, but it at least made the headlines, the benching of Russell Wilson. At the same time, I do believe the Raiders are going to go all out. I think they really like this coach. And, neither of this team is really close to those top spots where it matters as far as getting those top quarterbacks. From what I'm reading, the only other ones that could go first round are McCarthy and Jaden Daniels. So with a lot of these guys not being even mocked here, I don't think the difference between picking 13th and picking 16th matters to either of those teams if they are looking for a quarterback. So here's the thing. I love the Raiders in the spot. They always beat the Broncos. It's a great matchup for us. However, we're laying 3 on a total of 37. They won the first game of the year in Denver 17-16, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a game where the Raiders win, but the +3 is good. At -2, I would have bet it, but I'm late to the party here as the Raiders have moved to -3, and it's been stable since the move. Tyler, I already know what you're going to say, but let the people hear it.
No, this is the only meaningless game I'd bet, and I'm taking the Raiders.
Oh,
they want that coach to stay, so they're going to give extra effort. Stidham did not look good in his first week. I get it, Sutton could be back, but still, that just did not look like a good offense. I think the Sean Payton could be just as bad as the whole Russell Wilson thing too. So I think I got to take the Raiders here. I think they come out, put up a fight, win the game, give another reason to keep that coach, and that's pretty much it.
JC, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm not sure which mock draft you're looking at, though. I've seen like 5 quarterbacks going in the first round.
They have no idea what's going to happen after the first 2.
Penix or Bo Nix? I forgot who you said.
Yeah.
No, I mean, because I even see
the thing is once you get in the 20s, though, a lot of those teams don't need QBs.
But the thing is you might get the panic of like if
trade up,
if Caleb goes first and May goes second, and all of a sudden the team trades up to 3 and takes Jaden Daniels, chaos ensues because now all the teams waiting in the back go, well, there's one guy that was supposed to be here gone. Are the other ones about to go off the board 4, 5, 6, or do we got to go get them right now? And I think you watch teams move all the way up to go get them.
This is probably drastic, but Pro Football Focus has 5 quarterbacks going in the first 12 picks.
I think that happens because the position is so important. And we've seen so many guys get drafted above where they're ranked. I mean, Zach Wilson went number 2 for
it's going to go like there's going to be like
Geno Smith.
There's going to be 1 or 2 wide receivers dropped in amongst this offensive tackle quarterback plethora that comes flying off the board.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun draft this year. Tyler, you're pretty good at this. Do you think Jaden Daniels will be a good pro?
I think so. But I think you have to do them similarly how they did Lamar, where you can't just drop him on the team and go, here you go, buddy, figure it out. Like, that's not the kind of player he is. Like, he has to be like, all right, he's our guy. We're going to build the system around him now. He's a scrambling quarterback that can also throw.
Because you don't want to go to a top 5 team if that's the case, Tyler.
Like, his mock draft right now, I think that'd be the worst thing that could happen to him is getting dropped on the Patriots. That would be detrimental to his career. Of these top teams, I would want to see him get drafted to.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta.
I don't know about that. I think he's definitely got huge potential. I definitely think he's kind of that Lamar. If he gets in the right system and they're willing to not make him the type of quarterback they want him to be, I definitely think he could be extremely successful in the league.
Interesting. How do you think you do in Tennessee?
Probably, I don't know, because assuming Vrabel stays, he definitely is kind of a guy with gaps, but I also don't know how he would do with that. Like, that doesn't really seem like his style.
Denver might be a good spot for him.
Denver could be. Yeah, definitely could be.
Seattle might be a good spot for him.
Seattle would be a great spot for him.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep it moving. We'll have plenty of time to talk the draft.
I was just going to say on this game, I love Denver. I mean, I love Vegas because Denver's been so sloppy. I mean, they've only put up 16 on the Chargers. I agree with Tyler. They're going to be playing for their guy. And I got to say, it's a real shame that Davis didn't extend him already, because if he had extended him this week, the Raiders would put a beating on the Broncos that would be even worse than what the Dolphins did. But
if they extended him, I think I'd stay away from this game.
Oh, what? Oh my gosh, no, that would be
I think that's the whole point in betting this game is to make to punch another hole in the thing to get the extension. If he was already guaranteed the head coaching job next year, I don't think I'd bet this game.
Well, regardless, he didn't. So yeah.
From the talk that I heard from Graham yesterday, I think they know that Harbaugh is coming.
I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. That's going to be another you-do show on just the coaching carousel that's going to take place this offseason.
Yeah, I think we're going to end up with Harbaugh. Which I guess if I lose my coach from Compton, I'll take him. This line's moved since yesterday, Tyler. I'm talking about the Detroit Lions, who are now -3.5, taking on the Minnesota Vikings. The total's 45.5. Of course, the Minnesota Vikings, what a terrible decision by a guy that we think is a sharp coach, right? So just because you're sharp doesn't mean you're perfect. And KOC made an error by starting Jaron Hall, put them in too much of a hole last week, and maybe lost the team's buy-in for the season. I think he's still going to be the coach, and I think he's a great offensive mind. However, I don't know if they escape from that blunder. Now they take on a Lions team with not a lot to play for. I mean, I guess technically they can move up one spot if both Philly and Dallas lost.
Yep.
But a Philly-Dallas money line parlay to go the other way would be like plus 1,000. So, right, I mean, we're looking at less than a 10% chance of that happening. So essentially, Detroit has nothing to play for except to get back on track after that loss last week. Although I don't believe, because they feel the game was stolen from them and not that they got beaten, I don't know how much that really negatively affects the Lions. It's not like coming back off the beatdown that Miami put on Dallas. The Detroit Lions are -3.5 now, Tyler. I can't get involved here.
No, I'm not betting this game. No chance I'm betting on that idiot Dan Campbell, because who knows? He might run his starters the whole game. He might run them 5 minutes. He might run every 2-point conversion the entire game. So I'm not betting on Detroit. I want nothing to do with Minnesota. Cross off this game.
Jonathan Nelson in the chat, taking some time out for photoshopping Zach LaVine and Alex Caruso into Lakers jersey to join us. Good to see you, my man. JC, what are your thoughts, man? Are we leaving money on the table by not betting on the Vikings and the Lions?
I don't know. There's a lot of spots I like this week, so I'll probably stay off of it. But I
can't wait to hear these spots. I feel like we've gone through the whole card and we're not really on a lot.
Oh, I'm on plenty, and I'm getting most stuff, but we can recap at the end.
Yeah, we're going to recap.
And I did it. So if you want to bet, basically Lions get the 2 seed. So Eagles lose, Cowboys lose, Lions win, pays out 31-1.
Yeah. So even less of a chance, right? What's that? A 3% implied odds?
Something like yeah. So, but Dan Campbell. I mean, I don't think that guy knows how to roll over. I don't think he knows how to coast. That man has one speed, and it's full throttle. So I think they go hard. I think they stick it to Minnesota. I think they win by a lot, but crazier things have happened. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll get there. I mean, it's just a later game. Probably depends how It's a tough
I would be quick to just assume they're going to roll over. I think Minnesota has a better defense than Detroit, and obviously Detroit has a better offense on most days. But if Minnesota found their groove, I do think they could keep pace. So that's why I'm not getting involved in this one. I'm going to guess you're involved in this one, JC, though, because this seems like a JC Zargo special. And it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers who are laying 4.5 in Carolina, taking on the Panthers. And I don't even think you like the Buccaneers that much. I think you just want to fade the worst team in the NFL. Am I correct?
Yeah. You know what's funny? That's not even one of my written down picks, but absolutely. Tampa Bay, they're trying to hold on to the division. They're coming off that ugly loss to the Saints. So I think it makes it that much better. You never know. I mean, crazier things. A team scrappy. Carolina quite literally has 0 to play for. But yeah, I don't see how Tampa Bay loses this game. Or I mean, even how they win it by a close margin. I think it's gonna be a blowout.
JC hasn't watched enough NFL to see how Carolina could possibly win this game. But this isn't the NBA. These aren't the Detroit Pistons, Panthers. Maybe they win one for the Tepper. For those of you who know about Newt Rockney, that's funny. Tyler, your thoughts?
Tampa or pass. I'm not betting Carolina.
All right, I'm not either. I'm just kind of being contrarian. The Chiefs are plus 3.5 in Los Angeles, taking on the Chargers. Total's 35. Tyler, we're not betting this, right?
I'm not betting Blaine Gabbert versus Easton Stick.
JC, are you betting Blaine Gabbert versus Easton Stick?
Probably not, but I mean the Chargers are so bad that it's not. I wouldn't blame anyone who wanted to take Kansas City with points.
Did you like that win one for the Tepper joke? Was that a good one?
I didn't fully get it. I'm sorry.
I want to say I don't even get the.
It's because it's win one for the Gipper is the old one, and I think it was a Newt Rockney speech given by Notre Dame back before even I was born. That's how long ago it was. All right, so it was obviously a terrible joke.
So that was written on like a mud dried tablet with a stick.
Yeah, it was filmed in black and white right after Rudy. JC, let's talk about the main event. Sunday Night Football. The AFC East title is on the line, and the Buffalo Bills are laying 2.5 to Miami, taking on the Dolphins. I would love the Dolphins in this spot, but I'm so worried about the injury report. The Bills are finally fully healthy, and the Dolphins are worse than we've ever seen, except for maybe that 1 week that we tried to fade them when they had the 5 offensive linemen on the report. I guess Waddle was back in practice, but I still don't expect him to go. Tyreek Hill's limited. Mostert's out. A-Chain's 50-50. They lost Bradley Chubb. That means, along with Jalen Phillips, really too bad, JC, for you as a Dolphins fan, how good this team started and how much injuries have wrecked this team, because with all the flaws that these AFC teams have shown, I mean, we would have a clear 1-2 situation in the East between the Dolphins and the Ravens if Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, the full complement of offense. But that's simply not the case. So we have to handicap at what's at hand. I'll start with you, JC, since this is your favorite team. I believe that everybody is just assuming the Bills are going to win, and I'm thinking not so fast here. Now, I haven't bet the Dolphins, but I don't think this is a Bills slam dunk like everybody else. What do you think?
No, I don't know you can possibly think that. I know it's what the experts say, but the experts also thought that Miami was going to beat the Ravens last week, and we see how that went. I completely. I'm very objective about the Dolphins. I was on the Ravens last week, but I really like Miami here, being at home and a chance, a huge difference, right? Because they lose this game, they got to go to Kansas City next week, and I don't see that going well. But they win, they could be hosting just about anybody, including the Bills again the following week. But I think they get right. I think Buffalo's been too fickle. They're playing with zero consistency. I don't see how people think Buffalo can beat the Chargers by 2, beat New England by 6, and then think they're going to beat the Dolphins. Injury report is concerning, but we got enough guys going that we should be able to take on this Buffalo squad. Not to mention how terrible Josh Allen has been in primetime. People thought that's a concern for Miami, and while that's understandable given kind of their record, no one's been bringing up how terrible Josh Allen's been in primetime recently. So I think Miami gets the job done. I would love to see the Bills miss the playoffs, but I think that's even less likely. So it would be very Miami to win this game, have Buffalo again the following week and lose that one. So that's probably my full-on prediction for how Miami season comes to an end.
They knock Buffalo out if they win.
No, they don't. Because they'll still get the wild card as long as either the Steelers or the Jaguars lose. If one of them loses.
Yeah, they need other stuff. But if the Steelers win, they lose, they're gone.
No, Tennessee, if the Jaguars lose, they're
Yeah, but if the Jags and Steelers win and Buffalo loses, they're gone.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. So that pays out 4.5 to 1 if anyone wants to take the gamble on Buffalo miss the playoffs. But I think Steelers win, Tennessee wins, Miami wins, and then we get a rematch next week.
Tyler, are you betting on Mr. Potato Head or the Samoan submission machine?
I mean, the Samoan submission machine is going to be submitting because he's going to be under pass rush all game. He's beat this team once in the last 10 tries, and it took them putting them in 100-degree sun in the middle of September, and they had to come back and beat them by 2. The Bills' defense has gotten healthy. They've smartened up this offense with Joe Brady. They're not letting Josh Allen make the mistakes. They're going to run the ball. Miami's even more of a shell of themselves than they were last week when they played Baltimore. It's literally stopping their offense this week is going to be like, all right, if they could run the ball a little bit, so be it. But bracket Tyreek Hill, and if Chase Claypool and Cedric Wilson beat us, so be it.
Hey, don't forget about the Raleigh boy, Braxton Berrios.
Yeah. The guy that looks like me running routes, and he's got about as much speed as me.
Are you dating Alex Earl, though? No, I don't think so.
That guy ain't doing much, so I'm on Buffalo. I think the Bills just romp them.
Advanced stat for you. Buffalo mainly runs a cover defense, and Miami has eaten that apart this season. So that'd be the one good thing. There's going to be a lot of pressure, but because they play a cover defense, Tua is going to be able to get that ball out quickly and hopefully make some plays.
My rebuttal to that is why couldn't he get the ball out when they played earlier this year and he had both his receivers?
Couldn't tell you. Because it's in Buffalo. It's hard to play. I
don't know. All right, guys. Anything more on Sunday night's main event?
That's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, JC. I've only made one bet this week. Okay. You said you've got a lot.
I do.
Let's recap the list of wagers that you've placed.
All right. Baltimore under 35.
Okay.
Houston money line.
Okay. Tyler
Miami money line.
I didn't.
Miami money line.
Okay. I can
Tennessee plus 3.5.
Okay, I can see that one.
I like the over in Seattle. I might not end up placing that one though. Under in New England.
Under 30.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bears plus 3.
Okay.
Raiders minus 3.
Okay.
Probably won't get there on Arizona plus 3. And Tampa minus 4.5.
Tyler, did you hear how much this fool bet this week?
Yeah, he's got the whole card.
I love
you. Are a nut, bro. Who the places 9 bets in week 18?
There's so much like you got it's some great spots. I don't really know what to tell you,
bro. I can't wait to see your preseason cards.
There's just a surprisingly amount of meaningful games.
All right. Well, hopefully you'll get some meaningful wins. Tyler, what bets have you officially placed? I don't think the list is going to be as long.
I did Houston. I did a Houston Bucks teaser before the Bucks number came down. So now you could just do the money line parlay and get a better number now. I haven't pulled the trigger yet on Bears, and the Raiders was the only other thing I've bet right now. I'm gonna bet the Bills. It's down under 2. It's 2.5 now. I'm betting the Bills.
Yeah, it's 2.5 for me.
That was what, 5 bets?
Yeah. Do you know how many bets I have so far, JC?
What'd you say, 1?
Uno.
Hey, scared money don't make money.
The Bill Belichick's get the win against the New York Jets. That is my best bet. Tyler, final thoughts on this final regular season weekend?
No, I mean, it's been a fun season. Again, I'm going to repeat myself. I hope everyone went and bet Will Anderson to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. At the beginning of the year, when it was put on the sheet at plus 430, at the beginning of the week when he was still plus 380, because now he is plus 130, Jalen Carter minus 125.
Wow.
Words of wisdom, JC.
Yeah, man. Going a little different direction. Just kind of a message for the people to really, really cherish this last week of football, because there's going to be some meaningless games. There's going to be some crappy games, but it's week 18. It's done after this, and come February, March, you're going to be wishing you could watch the Jets play New England for the first time again, and it's just going to be gone. And we made so much money. We had such a great season. And yes, the playoffs are going to be great, but it's a sad day to see it come to an end. So enjoy it, win some money, and as always, straight money wins money.
Antonio Pierce for president.